Hi, I'm Stephen Shomler, and like the coffee mug says, I am on an epic journey. I am so excited to tell you about my latest adventure. I'm actually a little bit nervous. This is just, to me, it's just really big news. It's just incredible. And I so hope that this video inspires you to go live the life you imagine. So here's the big news. I'm heading to Greece. I'm actually heading back to Greece. I get to go to the country of Greece. I was last there in 2004, 16 years ago. I'm so excited to be heading back. I've been invited to participate in a food and travel writers media tour. I just can't tell you how fired up I'm about it. Monday, March 9th, I'm going to get on a plane and head off to Greece. I leave PDX, fly to Denver, from Denver to Munich, Munich to Thessaloniki. The fun thing about Thessaloniki is their airport code is SKG. And there's even a hashtag on Instagram, SKG. I'm like, what is that? Oh yeah, that's just like our hashtag, PDX. And then I'm going to be there for a week, and I come back on Tuesday, March 17th. I'll be flying in to the city of Thessaloniki. Thessaloniki is our home base. We're in Thessaloniki 4 nights, and we're other cities another 3 nights. We spend the night in Thessaloniki, and then we head north and go to some cities up in the north. We come back to Thessaloniki, and then we head kind of over to the west and go to some cities there, including a stop at Mount Olympus. Oh, man, I cannot wait to see Mount Olympus and be there for myself. So while we're touring throughout northern Greece, we're going to visit about 20 different wineries, a number of restaurants, a number of cultural sites. I'll be gathering content for the Culinary Treasure Network, both articles and Culinary Treasure podcasts, and shooting footage for my Culinary Treasure show. I'm really excited about that. And I'm also, check this out, there is a fledgling craft beer scene in Thessaloniki. Looks like I'm going to be recording some episodes of the Craft Beer Podcast with some of those breweries right there in Thessaloniki. To me, this is just, I want to say it's a trip of a lifetime, but I've been dreaming about trips like this for a long time, and this is, I'm going to have many trips like this, and they're probably going to be equally as magical to me because I've worked so hard to get to that place, but I am so incredibly excited for this trip, I cannot tell you. And this trip is going to push my professional limits. Up until about 6 months of my journey, I've done a really good job, writing articles. I do podcasts. I do my culinary podcast, my craft beer podcast. But for the past 6 months, I've been working really hard to step up my filmmaking skills. Both shooting videos where I do some teaching videos for my Spark to Bonfire channel, but also where I can do vlog style videos like these and shoot footage for the Culinary Treasure Show. I've got a number of episodes of those that I filmed since last October is when I started filming those, and those are getting ready to be released. So I've worked really hard. I've got this incredible mobile ready to go podcast studio, mobile podcast studio, and I've got a mobile filmmaking studio with lights and microphones, and the thing that blows my mind is all of it fits in a rolling backpack I have, a wheeled backpack. It's a bit too heavy to put on your back, but it wheels around just fine. And then my briefcase. Between those two things, everything I need to shoot video, to do podcasts. It's pretty incredible that I'm mobile this way. I've got all my batteries with me, so I can travel all over northern Greece and just be ready to capture all the amazing stories I'm going to encounter. I'll put pictures up so you can kind of see this rolling backpack in my briefcase and how it looks. Just a lot of really cool tools in there to let me do the thing I need to take the next step, and not only do writing with words, not only do podcasts listen to, but shows and footage you can watch. I'm really excited about that part. And of course, when I get back, I'll spend the next 9 months roughly creating content for the Culinary Treasure Network, be it articles or video footage or podcasts. And all of that you'll be able to find if you want to know, well, where is it? And check it regularly. You can go to adventuresincreece.com. Don't search for Adventures in Greece. Don't go to Adventures in Greece, type it in Google and hit search. That won't get you there. Not yet, at least. Hasn't had that much SEO yet. Eventually, but not yet. But if you go up to your browser and type www.adventuresingreece.com and then hit go, not search, but go, it'll take you right to a page. It's live now. There's no articles linked there yet, but eventually all of the stuff I create will be linked there. I do the same thing with adventuresinbozeman.com. Again, if you want to see all my Bozeman content, don't search for Adventures in Bozeman. Just go into your browser and type www.adventuresinbozeman.com and hit go, not search but go, and there's a whole bunch of different pieces of content I've created for various platforms all about my Bozeman journeys. I'm excited to be doing the same exact thing for my trip in Greece. I just can't wait for this trip, I tell you. All right, let's talk about you. I am on an epic journey, and you can do the exact same thing. Listen, summer of 2011, when I decided I was going to become a writer, a speaker, an author, was going to start a new brand and build a new career and become self-employed, we were literally homeless. The Great Recession had hit us really hard. We were literally homeless, and we were moving. I was moving into a garage, and I spent the next few months living in a one-car, unfinished, unheated garage. And I remember typing and looking up, and it had a cold snap in October, and I was wearing gloves with the fingers cut off, and I'm typing thinking, I'm going to be an author. Someday I'm going to have a book event at Powell's. And friends who knew me then said I was absolutely out of my mind. And it happened. I've actually had 2 book events at Powell's so far, and trust me, I've got more coming. I've recovered since I had a loss we'll talk about in a second, I've recovered a lot of my creative energy, and I'm back. I've got books coming. I've got a lot of exciting stuff coming. A big inspiration for me was Anthony Bourdain, may he rest in peace. You know, I watched No Reservations, and he would say, I write, I travel, I eat, and I'm hungry for more. And I'm like, man, I want that life. I want to write, I want to travel, I want to eat. So summer of 2011, I figured perhaps foolishly, you know what, if Anthony Bourdain could get paid to eat and drink, so can I. And I sat out after it. Summer of 2011, I decided to make it happen. January 1, 2012, I launched my first brand, and I set it out after the life I imagined. You know, and on that journey, I've had some victories. You know, I became a published author. In 2014, my first book was published. January 6, 2015, took me 3 years of hard work from January 1, 2012 to January 6, 2015 to become self-employed. But I'm self-employed ever since. I've had a lot of victories during that time. You know, I've had some challenges too. You know, I had a big, huge setback, a life-changing setback. February 8th, 2016, my 17-year-old son Zayne passed away, and I can't tell you, that ripped my heart out. It was just awful. And all the creative energy I had, all that momentum I had, I lost it. And it took me a good 3 years to get that creative energy back, and it was terrible. You know, and I tell you, I so wish Zayne was here to hear about this trip, because he was the one that told me so often, you're doing great, Dad, just keep going. You're doing great, Dad, just keep going. And I wish I could say, Zayne, man, it's so many fun things have happened. This trip to Greece is just one of them. Gosh, I miss him so much. I'm sorry about that. So, you know, I have recovered my creative energy, and now I have a life I love, and I'm working hard. I'm putting in a big 3-year effort. I call it Bonfire 2022. I'm going to work from 2019 to 2020, 2020 to 2021, and 2021 to 2022. And really cool stuff's going to happen over that time frame. I'm putting the hammer down, pedal to the metal, making it happen. I tell you all that because you can do the very same thing. For me, there was 4 career-worthy delights that I absolutely love. A lot of things that delight me. There was 4 of them. I thought, man, I want to build a career around those. I love storytelling. I love soul-satisfying travel. I love magnificent meals. And those 3 delights, they fit under my Culinary Storyteller hat. These days I have 2 titles, two job titles, if you will. When people say, what do you do? I usually give them A or B, or sometimes I hit them with both barrels. But one of the 2 answers, I'm a culinary storyteller. And that storytelling and soul-satisfying travel, and magnificent meals, that fits under that culinary storytelling title. But the other title I have is LifeStory Alchemist. And that's because the 4th delight I have is life change. I absolutely love helping people change their life. And since I've started on this crazy journey, I've literally helped scores of people now change their life and go live the life they imagine, head off on that direction, begin the journey of making their story extraordinary. And yes, you heard me right. I said LifeStory Alchemist. I like to think that I practice some wizardry. In medieval times, alchemists, the fun myth is that they would take an ordinary metal like lead and they would transmute it into an extraordinary metal like gold. And I was able to take my life story and transmute it from something ordinary to something extraordinary. And these days I teach people to do the exact same thing. That's why I'm working hard on Spark to Bonfire, one of my companies, creating resources to help equip people who want to change their life. And so I'm excited. I get to go to Greece. And here's the really cool thing about Greece. I first went to Greece in 2004, and the city I went to in 2004 was Thessaloniki. And I loved Thessaloniki. I remember walking along the waterfront and thinking, man, I wish I had a camera. I wish I could film this and show people. And I thought, someday I'm coming back here. And look at it. 16 years later, though I love the way the universe works, I'm headed back to that very same city, to Thessaloniki, near and dear to my heart, except this time I'm going to film along the waterfront and create footage for you all to watch. Where do you want to go? What adventures do you want to have? I told you my 4 career-worthy delights. I love soul-satisfying travel. I love storytelling. I love magnificent meals. I love life change. And I've built a life around those. My son Zach, one of the things that delights him is football, and he's done an amazing job building a career out of his love of football. What do you love? Where do you want to go? What adventures do you want to have? Man, I'm just telling you, you can have it. Go live the life you imagine. I'm Stephen Shomler. I believe in the beauty of your dreams. Make your story extraordinary.